What is up YouTube, and welcome to this Falcon and the Winter Soldier trailer breakdown. Now, while the Super Bowl had barely any trailers of consequence, and probably most of the movies that had trailers last year, well, they haven't even been released yet, Disney are disappointingly not following HBO Max and putting up their stuff on Disney Plus for free, but they are putting up their latest animation array on premium access. Hey, at least my boy Tom Brady got his 7th Super Bowl ring, but it would have been nice to see him wear a mask, and this trailer looks absolutely stunning. There were some new shots and dialogue in the trailer, and well, it will be the next show that will drop in a packed March. Now, we open with the begrudging bromance duo being interrogated as Bucky is asked why Sam activated him. Of course, we all know what happens when Bucky is activated using secret code words, but we know that Bucky was taken to Wakanda to be frozen until a cure for his brainwashing can be found. But of course, he was unfrozen during Infinity War, or at least before that, so it does hint that, well, his whole problem with, trigger words has been fixed by Shuri and her scientists. So I can't imagine this is something that Zemo can exploit again, and it will be interesting to see what everyone has been up to since Endgame, ended. And it does look really, really cool, and, well, the pair both became Captain America at one point in the comics. Clearly, Steve intended for Sam to carry on the torch, and I expect this will be the core kind of story that will go through this show and introduce us, the audience, and the MC universe to the idea of Sam fully taking over the iconic persona of Captain America by series end. However, in Endgame, Sam did not accept that title, and Anthony Mackie had this to say on the matter. See, at the end of Endgame, Sam didn't accept the shield. If you remember, he told Steve, it doesn't feel right because the shield is yours. So the show is a long way of figuring around who's going to be Captain America. Where's the shield going to end up, and who is going to be Captain America? Is that moniker going to come back? Is something going to actually have that moniker again? Now, Zemo is also back and is adamant that superheroes should never exist as he looks at a Sokovian monument as his family died, of course, as a consequence of the actions of Tony and his crew. Well, kind of indirectly there. And he says that he's not going to leave his work unfinished. We last saw him at the end of Civil War with T'Challa letting him live, but since then we've seen half of all life on Earth and the universe end, and considering Zemo blames the Avengers for his family's death and other superheroes, well, I guess everything that happened during Infinity War and Endgame is really going to have him renew his efforts. Considering it was 5 years, and if he hasn't been taken by the blip, well, he's had 5 years to really kind of get through this power struggle, and I would like to see him possibly be involved with the Hawkeye show as well, if Hawkeye was actually, working on trying to stop people like him in the past. Now, the mask is essentially his comic book costume. Of course, his face was mutilated much like his father's, causing him to wear the mask. There were two Zemos in the Marvel Comics world, Heinrich Zemo and Helmut Zemo, with the former being a Nazi and the latter being his son. The brilliant Daniel Bruhl is there playing the latter in this TV show, and I'd imagine that it could be a version of forming the Masters of Evil, but rumours and leaks mention that Hydra is not actually over, so I think they may be playing a part here, albeit I wouldn't be a fan if Hydra did return. I was a bit salty about S.H.I.E.L.D. being destroyed from the inside, albeit it was a really, really dope movie. But we get a good look at the other antagonist with a blood-red handprint on a mask, and she's played by Erin Kellyman. You may recognise her from the awesome Han Solo movie, and she's going to be part of a group called the Flag Smashers. Now, in the comics, the group was simply one person, a villain called Karl Morgenthau, a villain with anti-nationalist sentiments. She is one of the many parties at the struggle for Captain America's title, and considering Red Skull funded Flag Smashers' doomsday device in the comics, and then decided that accepting Nazi's money was too far, well, we're going to be in for a really, really cool adaptation here. Although by the time of this revelation, John Walker, known as US Agent, was the new Captain America. He is in this trailer, but more on that in a bit. Aaron's character is rumoured to be a long-time descendant of the Red Skull. Now, Red Skull did have a daughter in the comics called Cynthia Schmidt, aka Sin. Sin was the child of the Red Skull and a washerwoman, and she was indoctrinated to Skull's way of thinking and fought Captain America's multiple times, and as well as that, they tried to save her with shields, but she just broke out with crossbones and caused a reign of chaos across America. Involved heavily with AIM at some points as well, who are rumoured to be in Ant-Man Quantumania. It's easy to tell that they were fighting in a power vacuum post-Endgame, as we've got a shot of Sam in a black suit, as well as hinting that it will be a state funeral for Steve Rogers himself. And yes, that will be a very tear-jerking moment, but we know he's out there living his best life with your girl, Peggy. We'll then see Sam visit Bucky at what seems to be where Bucky is hiding out post-Endgame, and it looks like the mantle of Captain America has been corrupted, which is, to be honest, not unexpected, considering it is technically owned by the military and they never really make the best decisions for all of humanity, as we see shots of Madripoor, which will be a central location in the show. It is a fictional island in the Marvel canon and is in the Southeast Asia and is closely linked with the X-Men and Wolverine, and is just generally a hive of crime syndicates, which makes sense considering at least 2 criminal organisations are at work here. We also get a look at a parade or halftime show featuring US Agent, which is clearly here a replacement for Captain America, which has been shown from afar very many times, which is weird, and it makes me wonder if they're trying to trick the fans into thinking Steve has returned, but I don't think the fans are that gullible. John Walker is the character here, and the future US agent was in the military in the comics but never saw active duty. He sought out a character called the Power Broker to become a superhuman. Now, he would later become the Super Patriot, a corporate-sponsored superhero, which I would think would be a great storyline to kind of counteract the Flag Smashers and also Bucky and Sam Wilson, the so-called idealists. So we have a triple threat here with Zemo just going about doing his thing. Now, he clashed with Cap about the ideals and took over the Captain America title when Steve left it behind. There are many shots of the lads against the Flag Smashers, with the Flag Smashers seemingly being the main group. However, it does remind me of when Sam became Captain America and fought the racist Sons of the Serpent. The history of that group was to divide America, and maybe they've been updated to be called the Flag Smashers, and the idea of dividing America is going to be changed here towards attacking the flag itself, which Captain America is a huge symbol of. The action sequence with Sam shows the sheer scale of these productions and complete opposite to what WandaVision was creating, and finally the MCU has some diverse productions. However, for me, the real highlight is not the action, but the bickering between Cap's 2 best friends. Sharon Carter also returns, and in the comics she was unfortunately the one responsible for that infamous death after Civil War, but our boy Steve was just displaced in time, just like our MCU Steve Rogers, and it's very, very cool how they adapt these MCU stories. But that's it for this video. Let me know down in the comments what you thought of this trailer. What did you think of the Super Bowl? And what did you think of the last WandaVision episode? I will be here bringing you all of these breakdowns, and I hope you have a great day and stay safe out there in this crazy world. I'll see you soon, and goodbye.